Angles between segments in circles. Alright, so here we have a tangent line and a chord where this angle is x degrees, this angle is y degrees. That makes this arc 2x degrees, and it makes this arc 2y degrees. Here we have a tangent and a secant line, and if this angle here is x minus y degrees, that makes this arc 2x degrees and this arc 2y degrees. Here we have secant, secant, so we have this angle here with two secant lines. If this angle here is x minus y degrees, that makes this arc 2x and this arc 2y. Tangent, tangent, so we have a point with two tangent lines. This angle is x minus y degrees, that makes this large arc here 2x degrees and this arc 2y degrees. And here we have two chords. If this angle here is x plus y degrees, that makes this arc 2x degrees and this arc 2y degrees. Theorem, a tangent and a chord. The measure of an angle formed between a chord and a tangent is 1/2 the measure of its intercepted arc. So given chord MR and tangent RS, prove that the measure of angle 1 equals 1/2 the arc MR, and the measure of angle 2 equals 1/2 the measure of arc RAM. A tangent and a secant theorem. The measure of an angle formed between a secant and a tangent is 1/2 the difference of the intercepted arcs. So given secant AMS and tangent QRS, prove that the measure of angle S equals 1/2 of x minus y. Theorem, a tangent and a tangent. Alright, the measure of an angle formed between two tangents is 1/2 the difference of its intercepted arcs. So we have this angle here. Given that these are two tangent lines, prove that the measure of angle S equals 1/2 the difference of x and y. Theorem, a secant and a secant. The measure of an angle formed between two secants is 1/2 the difference of its intercepted arcs. So given secants AMS and QRS, prove that the measure of angle S equals 1/2 times x minus y. Theorem, a chord and a chord. The measure of an angle between two chords is 1/2 the sum of the intercepted arcs. So given chords ARM and QRS, prove that the measure of angle ARQ here equals 1/2 times x plus y. Here's a summary of everything we just went over.